Hello everyone, welcome back to the second episode of the Kingdom Hearts 2 Critical Mode Any Percent Speedrun tutorial. In this episode we are going to be covering the second part of Roxas World, which is going to start off with Setzer and then will end once we kill Axel too. So getting into Setzer, what we're going to want to do in this fight is die intentionally as fast as we possibly can. The reason we want to do this is because if you beat Setzer, you get the Champion's Belt, which gives you some defensive boosts that we don't need for the run, but if you lose to him, you get the Medal, which actually gives you +1 strength, which is going to be very helpful for us for the rest of the run. So the way that we try to die as quickly as possible is you hit Setzer once. That's going to provoke him to an attack. He's going to hit you. Then you hit him again. He's going to hit you. And then you hit him again. And he's going to hit you. And you hit him one more time, and then you're going to die. Obviously easy enough, but the real key here in order to go fast and not have Setzer hop backwards away from you, which he often tries to do, is you see that every time I hit him, I follow it up by jumping and getting as close to him as possible. I'm trying to shove my nuts into his face. The reason I do this is because, as I mentioned in the previous video, if you get hit while you're on the ground, you have a lot more you have a lot more lag before you're able to move than if you get hit in the air. If you get hit in the air, when you land, you're going to be able to instantly move again, or in this case, instantly follow it up with another attack, and that's going to give you a better chance of hitting him before he hops away. And also, by being as close to him as possible, you're going to be closer to him, so it's easier to catch him if he tries to hop away. You also want to time your jump so that you're as close to landing on the ground as possible when he hits you. The closer you are to landing on the ground, the faster you're going to go, because you're not going to get knocked up into the air as high. Don't go too crazy trying to get super low to the ground. Like, it's not worth the 10th of a second saved being closer to the ground, potentially being too low and then losing a second or two. Like, just jump up in the air, let him hit you, and then immediately follow up with an attack. Pretty easy. Let's not waste any more time on this fight, and let's move on. So from here, we're going to be going to the 7 Wonders segment. Going to pick up a couple of skateboards to get over there as quickly as possible. And the first thing we're going to do, once we enter into the station and get to the, what's it called, like the Sunset Terrace, something like that, we have a menu here. So, Sunset Station, my bad. So we're going to hop into abilities, and if you've already equipped guard, you won't need to do it, but if you haven't equipped guard, we're going to equip guard and scan. Then we're going to press square to get to our abilities afterwards. Just going to go through this frame by frame. Square jumps you right from abilities to items and vice versa, if you didn't know that. We're going to equip the medal that we just got. And then we are also going to equip 2 more potions. So you see there's already 1 potion of equipped. If you equip potions into empty slots, it's going to automatically turn on the auto reload ability. So you want to do that and fill all your items with potions. So do that right here. Boom. Full with potions. After that, you're going to go down into the settings or the config from items. So just 1 up input and then press X. And we're going to turn off summon effects. You definitely don't want to be summoning Chicken Little and have to watch the little cutscene animation. That feels pretty bad if you forget to do this. So don't forget to do this. It'll punish you later in the run. So after that menu, we will move on. I'm not really gonna, I don't feel like I really need to talk you through this ball minigame very much. Like, you can watch how I run. It is what it is. Don't get hit. It feels really bad. That's all I'm gonna say on this. But for Vivi Clones, I've thought long and hard about how I want to explain this fight or tell you what to do, and at the end of the day, I don't have a great answer for most of it aside from the opening. So the opening is really the only part that's, I don't want to say consistent, but has consistent patterns. So the 3 VVs will always jump right over here. The only thing that varies is the order in which they jump. So sometimes this guy goes first and jumps over, sometimes the middle guy goes first and jumps over, sometimes the far guy goes first and jumps over. The easiest ones to deal with is when either the first or the second guy jumps first. If the third guy jumps first, it might get a little shiesty, but regardless, what you're going to do is the same. So when they jump, you're going to jump to the spot they're going to land and begin an air combo when they get there. So you're going to see me, I jump over because I know they're going to come over here, and I start an air combo. And I kill all 3 of them with 2 hits. Let's watch that one more time. Bam, bam. So I do, in this video, I do a little advanced thing, is I continue on the combo and do a finisher, and it picks up the next Vivi clone that spawns. I don't expect you to do this or be able to do this. If you can, great. It looks really cool and is fast. But if not, don't worry about it. The only thing that I'm gonna the only other thing I'm gonna mention with the opening is if that far right Vivi clone jumps first, like I was mentioning, when you do those 2 hits, your second whiff is more than likely gonna, or your second hit is more than likely gonna whiff this guy. It's really hard to position yourself that your second hit's gonna connect with all 3 of them. So that's just something to look out for. It's unfortunate, but you'll probably have to run away while he does his attack. Maybe go deal with the other Vivi clones that are gonna spawn somewhere in the middle. A lot of this is frankly practice and guessing and hoping they're going to land in the right place. I wish I could give you more advice for this fight than that, but it's really, as you continue going through and doing this over and over, you're going to learn the correct decision to make in certain scenarios. I can't really give you those scenarios because they're so random. Every spawn is random after these 3. Like, there's no consistency that we're aware of where they're going to show up. So you're really just trying to do your best to deal with them as they come. So I'm just going to let the rest of this fight play. Not really going to give too much more insight into it aside from that. Again, I wish I could give you more, but it's a tough fight. Gonna have to work at it. So you see I hit that guy, jump and hit that guy, jump and hit that guy, jump and hit that guy. Like, sometimes jumping is the best choice, sometimes maybe you want to do a ground hit. This fight goes incredibly well that I'm showing. I think the only other thing that I might mention is the target switching that I talked about in the first episode, where if your auto lock is stuck on a Vivi clone that you don't want to target, if you quickly tap R1, so if you quickly lock on and lock off, that'll reset your auto target. And that'll come in a lot of handy, let you target the Vivi clone that you want to target. But again, that's something that comes with practice. So let's move on from that fight, because I don't feel like there's much more I can say about it, unfortunately. This next fight, though, this is the air combo test. Shadow Roxas can be really tough. And with Roxas' air combos especially, it's really hard to do air combos on this guy, and it's really going to show whether or not you have your timing down. So we're going to open this fight by stepping slightly to the left and doing a full combo with 2 finishers. That's going to be the same no matter what. Shadow Roxas can give you different patterns in the opening. Like right there, you saw he did a little side swing. Sometimes he does an overhead swing. Sometimes he does a lunge. He might parry you if he does the lunge. If so, no big deal. Just continue your attack, do the same thing, full combo double finisher. After that, we're going to run away and wait and see what he does. He'll either do a lunge or an overhead swing. It doesn't really matter. But after he does that, you're going to come in and start doing your air combos. So I'm going to run away and then start doing the air combos. So just like that. Let's see, how many is that? 3? 1, 2, 3. So basically you got to land 3 air combos on him. which is not the easiest thing to do in the world. Trust me, it took me forever to get this down. I think one of the key things, and this is really only going to come in handy once you're feeling really good about your timing, is a good way to not have your second hit on him whiff is to delay it a little bit. It's really common for your second hit on him in the air to whiff, and if you delay it a little bit, that'll help. You also see me make a little micro adjustment here after I do this first combo. I get a little bit more in front of him. And again, this is just attempting to increase my odds that I don't whiff on him. Like I take a couple steps to the side, boom, and then start my next air combo. And even there, I still kind of get off to a side of him and was at a little risk of whiffing. Fortunately, it worked out for me there, but another fight that's going to take a lot of practice. These Seven Wonders fights are brutal. They are hard to get good at. I don't think there's anything informative in the next 2 minutes here. You know, do the dog bag minigame, press triangle. Don't mash too hard. If you mash too hard, you can make the game crash. Just something to think about. So do them a little more like reaction commands, I guess. After that, we just walk for a long ways. Basically, make sure you get on all the skateboards. This one's a little less necessary, but, you know, hop on the skateboard here. Hop on the skateboard in the next room. And we're going to scroll all the way to the next fight, which is the Alleyway fight. So in this fight, we're going to have to deal with 2 Dusks and 1 Assassin. At the opening of this fight, what you're going to want to do is hold your left analog stick, the one that you move with, to about like 4 or 5 o'clock at the very opening of the fight. That's about where this Dusk starts in relationship to where Roxas starts. So basically you're beginning the fight running exactly at him, and then mash triangle. You do this because you're going to immediately get a reversal RC, or at least 98% of the time you immediately get a reversal RC. Sometimes you get bad luck and it doesn't give it to you, but we're not going to worry about that right now. 98% of the time you get the reversal RC. So you're going to watch me open up and do it. Boom. He's immediately stunned. These Dusks take 6 regular hits and a finisher to kill. So the pattern that we are going to do is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 in order to kill them. The main reason that I do this little RC is actually to get this Dusk and the next Dusk lined up. So you're going to see as I start doing these combos, I'm actually going to hit the other Dusk with them during the combo on the first Dusk. So here, watch. So I clipped him there. That's not going to happen 100% of the time, but it's what we're trying to do. You know, sometimes this Dusk can decide to jump, and that sucks. You're going to have to go run after him and deal with them one at a time. But, you know, ideally, you get a hit on him, and you can go a little bit faster. So you saw I got 1 hit on him, and then I killed this guy. I know that I've already landed 1 hit on him. So now I know that I only need to do 3 hits followed by a full combo. So I can do a 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I jump out of the way, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. And this third one is going to kill because I'm counting my hits here. I know how many hits I've done on them. I know what's going to kill with the finisher. And right after I kill this guy, an assassin is going to spawn. It's not consistent where he's going to spawn. Maybe it's in front of you, maybe it's behind you. But what you're going to want to do is run and jump around him to avoid his first stab attack that he's going to do at you. And then you're going to do the exact same combo count that you do on the Dusks afterwards. So I'm going to kill him. There he is. Jump out of the way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's the fight. So not too complicated, but a little bit of RNG randomness in that fight that you got to deal with, unfortunately. So now we're going to run over to the basement fight. Just a quick little movement thing here. This is not saving you any time really, but you can do a little RC reversal on the middle Dusk. Only if he's walking at you. If he jumps or does any hopping around, don't mash triangle. You're going to get an RC on either the right or the left guy, and it's going to send you in the wrong direction. But if the guy directly in front of you is walking towards you, then you can do it. That's all I'm going to say about just a silly little movement thing. Maybe saving a 1/10 of a second. But, you know, it's kind of cool. So why not do it? From here, we're just making our way to the mansion. Nothing else of note here. Let's just continue on through. Running over to the mansion. I accidentally grabbed the ledge there. Don't do that. And then going into the basement fight. So this is arguably the hardest fight in Roxas World to go fast in. A lot of people do different things in the opening. Some people walk directly forward and do ground hits followed by reversal. What I like to do is head directly to the left. So I hold my left analog stick at about 10 o'clock to get around this dusk and then do the RC on him. And then the RC on this guy will orient me so that I'm basically in line with all of these dusks. And I'm going to do my best to hit all of them with air combos. So let's see how that starts off. So RC, boom, 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 boom. So I'm trying to hit them with air combos is the bottom line. I also do a little bit of nifty target switching here to try to make sure I'm not just hitting this guy, but I move it to this guy and this guy. There's not like a strict plan with this. I'm not going to be like, oh, you must target this dusk and then this dusk. That's not really how it works. Like, a lot of this is really just improvising and doing your best to hit as many dusks with your attacks as possible. The only thing I will note is during this opening here, while they're stunned, do your best to land a hit on this guy and this guy. If you don't, there's a chance they're going to go into their upside down walk attack, and that's just a mess that you don't want to have to deal with. So do your best to try to hit these guys. There's also going to come a point where after you're doing the air combos where it kind of feels like, oh, I can't really line any of these guys up. And at that point, it's probably best to land on the ground and try to do your side swipe ground hit. Do a couple ground hits, do a couple reversals. It's a lot of feeling out what looks best in each situation. I wish there was a better way to describe it, a better plan to come in with, but it's really a lot of improv. Just an FYI, these dusks die in the same way as the ones in the alleyway did. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 will kill each one, but it's not really feasible to be keeping track of how many hits you're doing on each one. So let's kind of just watch how I deal with this. So I noticed there I got a whiff, so I'm like, okay, I'll go and do a ground hit. Oh, this guy's coming at me. Let's do another ground hit followed by a reversal. All right, I'm doing a good job lining them up. All right, now we are going to come into the next phase of the fight. Once you kill 3 dusks, the 2 assassins are going to spawn. And once you kill those 3 dusks, you want to immediately go and target those assassins, because you don't want them going underground after they do their initial stab attack. That's going to lose you time trying to go as fast as possible. So you see, after I kill that 3rd dusk, boom, I'm immediately turning to go and go find that assassin. So I'm going to dodge his stab attack and then start doing the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 combo. You're going to see me pull off something a little bit advanced here that if you're quick enough you can do, but I don't expect you to be immediately able to pull it off. You know, I've done this basement fight 1,000 times and it's still really difficult and doesn't happen every time. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So I do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This next assassin that's currently underground, it doesn't happen every time, but sometimes it jumps out and does its little dive attack at you. What you can do during this is catch it out of that attack. So after I kill this guy, I'm going to immediately jump and predict that this guy's gonna jump and attack. And he does, and I'm able to do a full combo with 2 air finishers here, which is really cool. I'm picking him up out of the ground, and then 1, 2, 3 to kill, and then I go finish off this dusk. He actually started upside down walking me here, which is kind of informative. So if you normally just try to attack a dusk that's upside down walking, you're going to parry. But if you get right up, like point blank to him, right as he's about to attack, you can actually catch him out of it. Kind of hard to do. You know, sometimes you'll screw up and get hit, and it sucks, but you can catch him out of it. So there. Did a couple combos to finish him off, and that's the basement fight. Again, as I said, really tough fight. It's going to take a long time to get good at it at all, and even when you've made it to that point, you're still going to have a lot of stinkers. It sucks. It's a really hard fight. But with that, we're going to move on to the last fight in Roxas World, which is Axel 2, which fortunately is a very scripted fight. So this I can tell you the exact specific things to do, which is much easier. So Axel's going to start off doing his flame pillar. We're going to run left or right, doesn't really matter. I run to the left to get around it, and then I'm going to start immediately doing a full ground combo. So just mashing X to my heart's content. Bum, 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 bump, 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 bump. Finisher's going to knock him up in the air. This is the only thing that might take a little bit of practice for you to do. You're going to immediately transition into an air combo by just continuing to mash X, but I actually am going to want you to reset your combo mid-air. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Boom, boom, bump. So I kind of stop my combo mid-air, let Roxas fall, and start a new one. This provides a little extra damage that is going to help the fight go faster, and it also aligns you a little bit better with him so that your air finishers connect. So let's watch that again. And that knocks him into the flame. So just one more time. So I mash X. Now I stop for a little bit, let Roxas fall. Then I start it again. That's going to knock him into the fire. So at this point, Axel is going to come in and do his RC. And if you've been running this game before, you've probably run into a situation where you go to do the RC on Axel, and he immediately goes into his DM, and then you're all upset. You're like, oh, what happened? Why did he do that? There's actually a fix for that. So what you're going to want to do is after I knocked him into the flames, I immediately unlocked. So unlock from him and run directly into the middle of the arena. So I run directly into the middle of the arena and then relock onto him. And at this point, you can just mash triangle. So basically, the way to stop him from insta-DMing, get in the direct center of the arena, lock on, and mash triangle. It's going to knock him up into the air. And since we did that little combo reset in the air, he's at a health level that we can just immediately go into an air combo and kill him in a full air combo. Bam. Dead. Let's watch that full thing one more time.
Come here. I'll make it all stop.
And that is the end of Roxas World. Congratulations if you made it through the hour of video it took to cover the very first world of the speedrun. In the next episode, we're going to be covering Twilight Town 1, which is mainly consisting of the Mysterious Tower. Hope you learned something from this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.